Good day everyone, I'm Gio Patrick Isla and I'm here to show you how to eliminate risk and hazard for the hospitality industry. Before we proceed to our main topic, I will just show you some information about what is risk and hazard. What is risk? Risk is the possibility of something bad happening. Risk involves uncertainty about the effects, implications of an activity with respect to something that humans value, often focusing negative undesirable consequences. What is hazard? A hazard is a potential source of harm. Substances, events, or circumstances can constitute hazards when their nature would allow them, even just theoretically, to cause damage to health, life, property, or any other interest of value. Ways to eliminate risk. First, modify work processes or equipment. Second, develop and implement safe work procedures. Third, ensure that the workers are using appropriate protective equipment and follow the safe work procedures. Common work-related injuries in the food service industry. Burns, cuts, fires, slip, trip, and falls, ergonomic risk, cleaning chemicals, CO poisoning, heat stress, and cold stress. Burn is an injury from contact with hot surfaces of equipment, flames, hot food, liquids, and others. Cut is a skin opening from an accidental incision of sharp objects that can cause exposure to blood-borne pathogens such as hepatitis B and HIV. Accidental ignition of hot oils and greases, paper materials coming into contact with hot stoves and ovens, faulty electrical equipment, wet electrical equipment, and appliances are the usual cause of fires. Slip, strip, and falls. Open ranges, stove doors, kitchen doors, trellis, stairs, defective ladders, footstools, and wet, cluttered, or slippery floors are common causes of injuries. Ergonomic risk is a physical factor in the environment that may cause musculoskeletal injuries like poor posture when sitting, kneeling and standing, and incorrect lifting techniques. Cleaning chemicals. Many cleaning supplies or household products can irritate the eye or throat, or cause headaches and other health problems, including cancer. Some products release dangerous chemicals, including volatile organic compounds. Other harmful ingredients include ammonia and bleach. CO poisoning. Carbon monoxide poisoning occurs when the carbon monoxide builds up in your bloodstream. When too much carbon monoxide is in the air, your body replaces the oxygen in your red blood cells with carbon monoxide. This can lead to serious tissue damage or even death. Heat stress. Heat stress includes a series of conditions where the body is under stress from overheating. Heat-related illness include heat cramps, heat exhaustion, heat rash, or heat stroke, each with its own symptoms and treatments. Cold stress. Cold stress occurs by driving down the skin temperature and eventually the internal body temperature. When the body is unable to warm itself, serious cold-related illness and injuries may occur, and permanent tissue damage, and it may also cause death. So now we are done discussing the common work-related injuries in the food service industry, and I will show you now some short clip about how to identify hazards.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Welcome to our institution's Safety Officer Interviews Question and Answer Training videos.
Thank you.
Subscribe now and press the bell icon. Never miss an update.
Today I will teach you what is hazard definition and explanation. First definition. A hazard is anything that may cause harm. Second definition. Hazard is any source of potential damage, harm or adverse health effects on something or someone.
What are the types of hazards?
1. Physical. 2. Chemical. 3. Ergonomic. 4. Radiation. 5. Psychological. 6. Biological.
What are the physical hazard?
Slippery floors, objects in walkways, unsafe or misused machinery, excessive noise, poor lighting, fire. What are the chemical hazard? Gases, dusts, fumes, vapors and liquids.
What are the ergonomic hazard?
Poor design of equipment, workstation design, postural or workflow, manual handling, repetitive movement. What are the radiation hazard? Microwaves, infrared, ultraviolet, lasers, X-rays and gamma rays.
What are the psychological hazard?
Shift work, workload, dealing with the public, harassment, discrimination, threat of danger, constant low-level noise, stress.
What are the biological hazard?
Infection by bacteria, virus, fungi or parasites through a cut, insect bite, or contact with infected persons or contaminated object.
How do you identify a hazard?
1. Identify the hazard by carrying out a workplace risk assessment. 2. Determine how employees might be at risk. 3. Evaluate the risks. 4. Record and review hazards at least annually, or earlier if something changes.
What is the purpose of hazard identification?
The purpose of this procedure is to ensure there is a formal process for hazard identification and risk assessment which will effectively manage the hazards that may occur within the workplace. This procedure applies to all Preston Hire staff, contractors and visitors of Preston Hire.
What's a health hazard?
The term health hazard includes chemicals which are carcinogens, toxic or highly toxic agents, reproductive toxins, irritants, corrosives, sensitizers, hepatotoxins, nephrotoxins, neurotoxins, agents which act on the hematopoietic system, and agents which damage the lungs, skin, eyes, or mucous membranes.
How do you control hazards?
Most effective hazard controls. The best way to protect workers is to remove or eliminate the hazard from the workplace using the following hazard control methods. Substitution. Substitute dangerous chemicals, equipment or work methods with safer and less hazardous ones to eliminate a hazard altogether.
What are the types of occupational diseases?
1. Lung disease. 2. Lead poisoning. 3. Radiation illness. 4. Skin diseases. 5. Carpal tunnel syndrome. 6. Computer vision syndrome.
What is hazard category?
MIS 2015 applies to two major groups of hazards, physical and health. Each hazard group includes hazard classes that have specific hazardous properties. Physical hazards group, based on the physical or chemical properties of the product, such as flammability, reactivity, or corrosivity to metals. Please give comment and suggestions. Thank you. Subscribe our YouTube channel and hit the bell icon for more updates. Thank for visit our channel. See you next class. Thank you.
So now, let's proceed to the steps for the health and safety of the hospitality industry. Step 1. Identify hazards or anything that may cause harm. So, employers have a duty to assess the health and safety risk faced by their workers. Employer must systematically check for the possible physical, mental, chemical, and biological hazards. Step 2. Decide who may be harmed and how. So we need to identify who is at risk, and we need to start with our organization's own full and part-time employers. Employers must also assess risk faced by agency and contract staff, visitors, clients, and other members of the public on their premises. Step 3. Assess the risk and take action. This means employers must consider how likely it is that each hazard could cause harm. This will determine whether or not your employer should reduce the level of risk. Step 4. Make a record of the findings. Employers with the 5 or more staffs are required to record in writing the main findings of the risk assessment. This record should include details of any harm or hazards noted in the risk assessment, and it also action taken to reduce or eliminate risk. Step 5. Review the risk assessment. A risk assessment must be kept under the review in order to ensure that agreed safe working practices continue to apply, and take account of any new working practices, new machinery, or more demanding work targets.